Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my review of none other than the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, also known as Secret Project 2 by Brando-Sando. Now, I just finished this book just a few days ago, and I feel like I had a very different experience with this book than I've heard a lot of other people have had. So I just wanted to talk about that. I plan on reading and reviewing all of Brandon Sanderson's secret projects. So if you guys want to see my review of Tress of the Emerald Sea or Secret Project 1, I'll try to leave a link in the description below. It was made on my other channel back before I made this channel. So yeah, it's worth watching if you guys are interested in that. And yeah, let's get right into it. If you guys do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because I would greatly appreciate it. And be sure to join the official Discord server down in the description below. We would love to have you talk about some books, some manga, all that good stuff. So check it out. And yeah, let's get right into it. First, I'll start by giving a little bit of a synopsis of what exactly this book is about. So basically, we follow this main character. We don't know anything about him. He just appears in what is medieval England. He's wearing modern day clothes, and we don't know why he's there. He's like kind of in almost like a crop circle kind of thing. And, you know, all of the plant life around him has been singed and incinerated. And he notices that he had a handbook with him, but pages are all torn out and burnt and all that. But what he finds out is basically in this world, people are able to purchase whole dimensions, basically like pocket dimensions that you own, like you would a house or something like that. So this takes place like far, far in the future, where there's like infinite, dimensions and realities that literally a regular Joe can just purchase, which is insane. And all of them are like varying versions of what is medieval England. And so this guy, don't know who he is, he appears here, and it's about him discovering who exactly he is, what he's doing there. But once we figure out who he is, what he's doing there, it's really a story about self-discovery and trying to really a story of like self-redemption as well. And yeah, I'm gonna try to leave it at that for just the brief synopsis. It's definitely a mystery. It's an amnesia plot, sure, which I know a lot of people also don't really care for just because it's overdone. Personally, haven't read a whole lot that has done that. I know that it is like a common trope, but personally I just haven't read a whole lot. So it's kind of like a, like a Jason Bourne kind of thing, Bourne Identity kind of thing, especially in the broader context of this story in particular, which I'll get into here in a minute. If you guys don't want to be spoiled anymore, don't watch anymore. I think a lot of where the fun is in this book is reading it for yourself and piecing together his past. And like, I mean, sure, a lot of stuff is revealed really early on, but that's part of the fun of it, is not knowing and then, piecing it together. So really, I guess anything beyond this point is going to be considered a spoiler. So our main character here, he has like these battle instincts pretty much, and he's really good at like sneaking around, and he doesn't know why he's so good at these things. So he suspects either he was like a thief, or he hopes he wasn't a thief. But then as he gets a little bit of his memories back, he finds out that he was a cop. And we've also find out that there's this whole thing where he's here to stop this cartel. And there's basically, he has like cybernetic enhancements, and he's trying to stop this cartel that deals in like illegal cybernetic enhancements and stuff. So it's very much like a cyberpunk kind of thing that's not really heavy in the story, but it's definitely there. You follow like this guy, almost like a noir detective thing. He's part of this task force that's like supposed to be neutralizing these cartels and all that. And it reminded me of like a noir cyberpunk kind of thing, while in a medieval England with some slight fantasy stuff. So it's definitely a really weird blend, like I said, of like cyberpunk, fantasy, and historical fiction, just all jumbled up into one. I will say that the story just gets really interesting when you find out that the specific world that he's in is very different from a lot of the others, because, you know, there's these people who are very superstitious because it's, again, medieval England, and so a lot of them are like pagans, and they believe in like Odin and Thor, all the, you know, Norse gods, as well as just like superstitions with like spirits and stuff like that. And what our character starts to realize is that, you know, he doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He's like, well, that's nonsense. Of course, these people from way back when believe in all of this because they don't have modern understanding. But then the longer he's here, what he starts to realize is that something really weird is going on here, and it's not just these people. So maybe there's more to this world than meets the eye, with its mythology and its folklore and all of that. And as we start to piece more about his past together, we find out that maybe he just isn't a cop, but something else. Which, I mean, that I'm not going to get into anything further than that. For you guys who haven't read it but still decided to stick around to this point in the video, yeah, we find out that he's more than a cop, maybe even, I guess, depending on how you look at it, less than a cop. So it's definitely an interesting story. We follow, like I said, the main character. I think his name's John or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And then there's our main female character, whose name is Cephawin. They're basically on a quest to retrieve her brother, because her brother was kidnapped by these cartel members that were in this dimension as well. And so our main character feels responsible, because he was either following or being followed by these people, and they ended up kidnapping, you know, her brother. And to the people here in this dimension, because of like their high technology, they see these people from the future as like gods, pretty much. They have access to like photon guns and stuff like that, so they have a lot of technology under their belt, and so they're seen as like I said, like gods or wizards. And so that's kind of why it's called like the Wizard's Handbook, because they're not wizards, but to these people you're basically like Gandalf. So you follow, like I said, the main character, Cephawin, and then another character whose name is just escaping my brain at the moment. The guy's name is Aelston, and he's like a lord pretty much of this area, where Cephawin's brother got kidnapped, and basically the inciting incident took place. He's the lord of this town, and or really a village, and he feels responsible as well. So he tags along. It's the three of them, and they go on this journey. They meet like with Vikings and stuff. There's bandits, and even a really interesting play on religion in this book, where it's like this alternate universe. So and there's religious aspects that are mirroring like our real history, but they're kind of switched up a little bit. It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of somewhat comedic aspects about it too, that I know, again, not a lot of people are fans of, because they don't think that Brandon Sanderson can really do comedy. And my personal take on that is that Sanderson's comedy is kind of hit or miss. But when he does attempt comedy, it doesn't come off as annoying to me. It just, sometimes it can be a little funny, but it more so just comes off as fun and lighthearted, not like laugh out loud. However, in Tress of the Emerald Sea, there were a few actually like laugh out loud moments. To me, this book wasn't it, but the comedy wasn't like annoying. The long and short of it is that Brandon Sanderson's comedy, like I said, isn't 100% funny all the time, but it's not really anything I'd take away or take off of this book for. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure why so many people dislike this book. I've heard that, for Sanderson, again, I'm not the most well-versed in Sanderson's work. I have yet to read Stormlight. I have yet to read Mistborn, or really dive much into the Cosmere. I know this isn't a Cosmere book, but if this is what is supposed to be subpar or not great for Sanderson, then I have a feeling that I'm absolutely going to love Stormlight Archive. If this is supposed to be one of his, not so great works, and I absolutely and completely enjoyed this book when I was reading it. I had so much fun reading it, and I was just, the whole time, I was baffled by other people's opinions. I was like, really? This is bad? Or not that a lot of people said it was terrible or bad, but a lot of people were saying this is mid or right? But I had so much fun with it. So if that's what this is supposed to be, then I can almost guarantee that Stormlight is just going to blow my mind when I read it. Not to mention that this book is also a standalone. So for a standalone, I'd say that it had a pretty complete story that didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. It also didn't feel like it abruptly ended. I felt like it was a complete story that really doesn't need any more to it, or needs some of it taken out, I guess. It just feels complete and concise, and it was just fun the whole time. I think on Goodreads, when I did a review on it and rated it, I think I may have given it 4.5 stars. I'm not exactly sure what I'd give it. I think giving books a star rating is kind of difficult. I'm still working out how exactly I want my star ratings to work. It's just sort of a gut feeling kind of thing for me. A lot of it is based on personal enjoyment rather than impact that it's had on a lot of people try to rate books based on their impact on society and all that. Really, when I rate a book, it's based on the personal enjoyment, and I'd stick with that. It's either a 4.5 or 4 stars for me. Yeah, it was just really fun all the way through. It had an interesting plot. Absolutely loved the characters. My homie Ailston was just a Chad, and Cephawin was kind of annoying, but she was also really sweet and just interesting, I guess. Her whole inner conflict with her profession, I guess. Just everything about these characters I thought was great, and how our main character very much is flawed. He's not a great dude, we find out, and his journey of trying to redeem himself and not really caring what these other people think, and just starting to, I don't know. It's hard to explain without giving too much away, but if you know what I'm talking about. It's definitely worth a read, despite it not being in the Cosmere. I think that a lot of Sanderson fans should give this a try, even though it's not part of his greater universe. But then again, a lot of Sanderson fans, it seems, might not like this at all, because there seems to be the common consensus. But yeah, what am I gonna do? I enjoyed it a lot. So anyways, that is going to about do it for today's video. It was a little bit of a shorter one, just trying to get my review out there while it's still somewhat fresh in my brain. And yeah, like I said, over and over again, it was a really fun book. I don't care what anybody else says. I enjoyed it, and yeah, 4 or 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was just really good. yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you guys did go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because I would greatly appreciate it. And once again, be sure to join the Discord in the description below. I'd love to have you. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.